Hello, gentle beasts, and welcome to the first episode of Across the Table. I am joined by Wild Bill,
Hey, what's up, everybody?
and today we are talking about a new superfood that scientists have found. In the terms of scientific discovery, it is about a newborn because it is only 6 months old. Cockroach milk. And this is actually the second time me and Wild Bill have talked about this. The first time those magical recordings have been lost to the eons of space and time.
A little bit
But-
salty about that still.
But we decided to revisit this because we think that there might be more to be said about this. Cockroach milk in and of itself is not actual milk. You don't grab udders and milk it. It is actually nutrient-rich milk-like crystals, and only one one roach in the entire world is able to create this, and that is the Pacific beetle cockroach. So that explains my little miswording with beetle.
So
Right
essentially, what I'm getting from this is it's less a drink in and of itself and more like a supplement thing, like Benefiber that you mix into like a glass of water.
Yes, and so far they have found that it does not affect taste, although some people have said that it makes it taste more sweet, which, let's face it, if something sweet is coming from a cockroach, you probably don't want it in your system. And
There's a
here's
sex
another
joke in there somewhere.
Here's another little amazing thought process on this. It is a nutritionally dense crystalline milk for their young. However, adults are chemically defended, having a modified tracheal gland and spiracle on each side, which squirts quinones, which I'm pretty sure quinones were a Spanish food and are delicious.
I think you're thinking of chimichangas.
Chimichangas are amazing. But
Easy there,
it
Deadpool.
squirts quinones, which can poison or discourage a predator. And jumping off of that, the only time that this has been ingested by a person was on Fox News, that oh so holiest of holy grails. That's a joke. The guy got sick.
Like, how sick are we talking anyway?
Like, he had to take time off. Like, I think he was gone for like 3 days because he just, his stomach was just like messing with him, all kinds of crazy stuff. Now, this could be that the milk was safe. Scientists don't know if it's possible for humans to drink this milk. So it could be that the milk made him sick, or it could have been all in his head. But here's the thing. Cockroach milk is so protein dense that regular milk, cow milk, is a baseline. That's like 1. Above that is buffalo milk, which is 4 times as nutritionally healthy. Excuse me, coffee burp.
Hey, you got your
4
coffee, I got
times.
my coffee-flavored beer. It's officially past noon here, so hey.
It's 1:05 here. I think we're on the same time.
No, I'm an hour behind you.
All right. It is protein rich, and buffalo milk is 4 times as healthy as cow's milk for people. So that in itself is already amazing, and from what I can find on buffalo milk, it actually doesn't taste too different than regular cow's milk. But they're saying that the nutrient-dense milk, the protein crystals that these roaches make, is 3 times the energy equivalent of the exact same amount of buffalo milk. So we're talking
So
somewhere
essentially
around,
like 12 times that of regular cow's milk.
yeah. So roaches
Jesus.
could be the new superfood. But I'd like to point out here that as just kind of a base people, we have problems just looking at roaches.
Yeah. That's going to be
So,
kind of
yeah.
the big kicker on that, trying to overcome people's fear of roaches altogether, let alone, hey, drink this, it came from a roach.
Yeah, and you have to be very careful when it comes to the selling of this product, because you can't like cut this word down. You can't say, oh, it's just roach milk. Well, we all know what roaches is.
Yeah.
And there's no way that they're going to sell this calling it cock milk.
Insert obligatory sex joke here.
Hey, first episode, it's got to be full of dick jokes, all right?
Hey, I'm down.
Let's see. Leonard Chavez, one of the scientists behind the research, was quoted as saying, the interest here was, what is it really made of? Chavez and his colleagues examined the species, also known as Diploptera punctata, which is the only species of cockroach known to be viviparous, able to bring forth live babies. So this is a cockroach that gives birth to live young, which begs the question, do we now have to change how we classify mammals? Because mammals milk for the young, which this roach is doing, live young, which this roach is doing. Right now, we've got warm-blooded and hair.
I don't know. Have you seen a cockroach up close? They got some weird, hairy-looking spine kind of things.
Yeah, and tarantulas, most species of tarantula, they have hair.
Yeah.
Which, I might add, having pet a tarantula before, it is extremely soft. I would actually liken it to, I don't know if you've ever pet a chinchilla.
Oh, those things are so fluffy.
Yeah, that's kind of what, I pet a rose hair tarantula. That's kind of what it feels like. That being said, if you pet a chinchilla the wrong way, it's just like its hair sticks up. If you pet a tarantula the wrong way, you now have tiny spine hairs sticking out of your fingers.
Yeah, those urticating hairs that they'll flick them at you whenever they get pissed off. So, word of advice.
Yeah.
Don't piss off a tarantula. You heard it here first, folks.
Like other viviparous creatures, this species of roach nourishes its growing embryos with a protein-rich liquid secreted by its brood sac, the roach version of a uterus.
Yeah, try telling that to the public as they're drinking this. They are going to vomit simultaneously. All across the world, just all at once.
Would you like to taste this milk? What does it come from? Cockroaches? I'm a little iffy on that. Well, don't worry. It's protein-rich. See, protein-rich. That brings another point. How long before you think bodybuilders start mainlining this stuff?
Oh, like seriously, have you seen those guys? They'll do anything.
Yeah.
They will do legitimately anything.
Huge props to those guys, because I do not have the dedication to get myself half as big as those guys.
Yeah, same.
But, I mean, really, when you think about it, cockroach milk, high in protein, I think this is going to hit the bodybuilding market hard and fast.
Yeah.
Soon after the embryo ingests the liquid, protein crystals develop within its midgut. Chavez and his colleagues extracted one of these crystals to learn more about it and its potential nutrition. Following tests and even genome sequencing, they discovered it was a complete food. It is what one would need: protein, essential amino acids, lipids, and sugars, Chavez said, explaining that the energy content is so high that it helps infants within this unique species grow much bigger than cockroach babies of other species. So the babies of this are massive compared to other cockroaches. So we're talking about essentially the blue whale babies of cockroaches, all because of this milk. Though the crystal formation may seem surprising, other crystals, including insulin, take shape within the body for easier bodily storage. That just kind of equates it to human ideas. But, I mean, one thing that I'm concerned with is this is crystals, right?
Yeah.
Hard, rigid, uniform-shaped things. We've all seen what humans do with crystals. Brush them up with a credit card and sniff them through a dollar bill. The crystals are currently extracted from the midgut of cockroach embryos, perhaps not the most efficient way of feeding a growing world population. Chavez and his team are hoping to reverse bioengineer cockroach milk, but first they need to understand the exact biological and chemical mechanisms underlying the process. So from what Chavez is saying, they're hoping to not actually milk cockroaches, but to artificially create this stuff in a lab.
It sounds like kind of the stuff that we do already anyway. I mean, you have all these like artificial supplements and whatnot that are out there. It doesn't sound like that would be something too difficult for guys like that.
Yeah, but like you're looking years down the future because, like I said, this is a discovery that is 6 months old and is just now turning even the slightest bit fruitful.
Well, yeah,
but it goes
this specific idea, yeah, is definitely new as far as that goes, but just reverse engineering that and finding its makeup and artificially creating sort of a copy of it, that we've already been doing for a very long time.
Which actually is kind of an interesting segue. Not so much as a segue as a link. Dolly. People said that was impossible. Which I found out not too long ago, and there are some people who are going to laugh at me for this. I found out, like maybe a month ago, why Dolly was named Dolly. She was named after Dolly Parton because of Dolly Parton's tits. Dolly the sheep was cloned off of the mammary cells of her mother. So Dolly the sheep came from the boobs of her mother. Yeah, that's kind of amazing. But this is from CNN.com. Having lost a drinking game with his colleagues, Chavez tasted the cockroach milk once. No particular taste, he commented, though the idea of ice cream appeals to him. He imagines, quote, a flavor with honey and crispy pieces.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. Now, focusing on the beetle cockroach, the Pacific beetle cockroach, which is what it's where this milk comes from, is a species of cockroach in the family Blaberidae, subfamily Diplopterinae. It is one of the few cockroach species which are viviparous. They also produce a nutritionally dense crystalline milk for their young, blah, 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 blah. It can be found living in Australia, Myanmar, China, Fiji, Hawaii, and India, which means I don't think we're going to be seeing many farms in the Great American Farmland. But let's see. Blaberidae, giant cockroaches, are the second largest cockroach family. The male Madagascar hissing cockroach is actually in this family.
Oh no, fuck no, I've seen this movie.
Yeah, we start drinking the cockroach milk, all of a sudden our kids are born.
I've seen The Fly. This ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, this is just asking for something to go wrong, but hopefully no one genetically tampers with this shit and is like, we're going to directly introduce this to the fetus.
Oh boy.
So, but the first person who actually identified this was a professor emerita at the University of Iowa. Her name is Barbara Stay. So, if this stuff starts hitting store shelves, you know who to blame / thank for it, Barbara Stay. Who, information on this, she is... Oh, man. She's a professor emerita at the College of Liberal Arts and Science at the University of Iowa. She has, at the time of this, no faculty honors. And it's just kind of, if you go to her page at uiowa.edu, you can email her, call her. Her office is 143 Biology Building. And I just have to say, this is definitely one of the strangest things I've ever found out.
Yeah, that's definitely up there, outside of anything you'd see in a fictional like a science fiction movie or some crap like that. Like, this is interesting to say the least. You know, put it lightly. I feel like there might be some potential in it, but if they're actually just going out there and milking cockroaches for it, I don't see it taking off anytime soon.
Yeah. But going back to a point I made earlier, scientists do not know if it's safe for human consumption. Subramanian Ramaswamy at the Institute for Stem Cell Biology and Regenerative Medicine in Bangalore, India, says in principle it should be fine, but today we have no evidence that it is actually safe for human consumption. So I'm just going to go out and say this. I don't think I will be one of the first ones testing this.
Oh, good God, no. And this is coming from someone who has eaten meals soaked in JP8 diesel fuel. I ain't touching it until they can guarantee.
Yeah. But on that note, cockroach milk, we do indeed have to end the episode here. This one ran a little bit over the time, but stay tuned. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment down below with your suggestion for future episodes. Stay tuned for the after show where we talk about how Star Wars is turning our kids gay. Stay calm, my gentle beasts, and we'll catch you next time.